Welcome back to another edition of the Stars and Stripes Cricket Podcast presented by Sportsnection. And on today's episode, we have one of the cult heroes of world cricket, not just American cricket, for his exploits at the 2024 T20 World Cup in the USA, where he became a folk hero, not just a cult hero, but a folk hero in American cricket for his performances helping USA into the Super 8 stage. He is the oracle of American cricket, Saurabh Netravalkar. Saurabh, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Peter. Thanks for having me.
It's been a while. We're on the eve of the next World Cup, USA making the Super 8 stage to enter the 2026 T20 World Cup by making the Super 8s that earned you a spot in the tournament coming up in Sri Lanka and India. And you're going to start off against India. Now, take me back to that India match in New York. 30,000 fans, and you come out at the start of the India chase and you take the wickets of Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. When you think back now, 18, 19 months later, what do you remember most about that day?
About that day, I definitely remember the moments leading up to it because we had just had the special win over Pakistan, and I was showered with lots of love and support online. Was overwhelming at first, but was very grateful. From a cricket perspective, really looked forward to that game. Few cricketers on that team were guys who I grew up playing with in my under 19 days, under 17, under 19 days. Surya Kumar Yadav, two, three other guys as well who I've played with. Dubey, who's also from Mumbai. And Rohit obviously is a senior in Mumbai who I used to bowl to and have played with for Mumbai back home when I used to play first class cricket as well. So, a mixed feeling of nostalgia and gratefulness of having that platform to again. It's been a tough journey for us in USA, starting from Division 3 and getting to play with the big teams. That itself was an emotional moment as well. So it was mixed feelings. But in terms of cricket, we were quite confident in terms of our skill level. Our preparation leading up to the game was pretty good. We had good quality of two series that we played pre-World Cup, and then the confidence we built from the Canada and the Pakistan game. Yeah, those two wickets were very special, I think, for me. During the game, it didn't feel that much because I was in the heat of the moment and we wanted to do our best. I wanted to just execute my skills. But looking back, I really feel that they are great moments. Like my family was there to witness it. And yeah, it was pretty special.
How often do you get asked about that match and the Pakistan match? Is it on a daily basis, a weekly basis? How often do people ask you to relive that moment for you?
Quite a few times, especially the few months just after the World Cup. Whoever I used to meet and whoever used to recognize me, say at a restaurant or something like that, that's the two matches that used to come up, and same on social media as well. So, like I said, it was overwhelming at first, but it's just love and blessings, and I take it in a good way, and it's nice. Yeah, it feels good.
You talked about people reaching out to you on social media. One of the parts of that phenomenon was the fact that your social media follower count exploded. I think you went from 5,000 to more than 250,000 after those two games and the notoriety that brought with it. Having said that, though, you're not really much of a social media kind of fanatic compared to some other guys. I don't really notice you, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, too much. You're not really somebody who's into that. So you really live more kind of in the flesh. Do you even notice that? Does that something that kind of registers to you that that fame that was kind of extended to you from the social media aspect versus what you experience in real life?
Initially, it was overwhelming. Like I said, I never expected. Instagram is one which is what I use the most, but surprisingly, a lot of people reached on WhatsApp as well. In terms of my personal like way back, my school friends, my school teachers, my high school professors, like friends who I hadn't been in touch with for a while, but it was great to see that they followed the journey as well and they reconnected the dots and they reached out to give their compliments. So that was great. Extended family members, my cousins. So that was in a personal space. On the Instagram, yeah, it was nice to see, but I take it as a responsibility as well when things digested that if you have the support and the following, I want to still stick to being who I am, and that's what I do. I just kept doing what I do, but trying to portray how I live my life in terms of I've made quite a few lifestyle changes as well in terms of being vegan, in terms of trying to be as sustainable as possible with my choices. So things that mean a lot to me and my family, I just try to post that. I love music. So I just try to be myself. I'm just being myself. I haven't changed in terms of my output towards that, but yeah, that's how it is.
You mentioned all the messages you got over WhatsApp. Is there one in particular that was the most surprising or the most meaningful for you in terms of somebody who reached out to you that you weren't expecting to hear from?
My school principal, that I can now think of quite a few school teachers. Like it was way back, right? And school friends who I weren't in touch with that long.
But
So yeah,
your
those
school
were.
principal, who is what's the name of your school principal? You got to give him a shout out.
Her name is Jaya Padmanabhan. Yeah, she used to be our, yeah, principal only, you could say. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Would you or a head teacher? Would you say head teacher?
Yeah, head teacher. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So that was not expected, but it was really great that she followed it and she sent a text through another teacher who used to be my English teacher at that time. So she texted me and saying that the principal wants to convey her regards as well. And then I messaged her, and so it was nice. Yeah.
And what school was this?
St. Joseph's School in Mumbai.
You also said you mentioned lifestyle changes in terms of how you lived your life. One of those lifestyle changes that happened between the World Cup and the start of MLC, you had a baby. So,
Yes,
so,
yes.
so that was something that you were also dealing with throughout the World Cup. I know your wife was at the matches in addition to your parents, and she was heavily pregnant on the verge of giving birth to your first child. Having that as something to be excited about and build towards as a life experience and a significant life moment. How much of that impacted the way you prepared and the way you trained leading into and also during the World Cup itself?
Yeah, 2024 has been like a big blessing for me and my family completely. I think having Dhimahi has been, I would say, by far the most special moment of our lives. And yeah, just being like the fact that Snigdha could accompany me for the World Cup and leading that during the MLC, midway through MLC is when we had Dhimahi. My mom was also able to come for World Cup games. Like she was there at the Pakistan and the India game as well. Yeah, it was pretty special for us. I would say life, my perspective on life has completely changed. And yeah, I can't put the feeling in words, but it's by far the most supreme feeling.
What is more challenging, getting Rohit or Kohli out or changing a diaper for Dimahi?
I mean, I love changing a diaper, so it's not challenging. I wish I could do that more. I'm very grateful for Snigda's support and the sacrifices that she does so that I can be here to play cricket and do what I love here. So I definitely say doing that is easier, but I want to do it more. I kind of deprived of that because of so much of games that we are playing right now.
You're playing a lot of games right now, but there's been a big gap in terms of since the World Cup. One of the great ironies of USA's journey between then and now is you qualified for the World Cup, and in some ways, it may have disincentivized the need to schedule more matches. If you look at Canada, They had to go through the qualifying process in the Americas. But since that last match that USA played against England to round out the Super 8 stage in Barbados, USA has not had a single match in terms of T20 fixtures against a full member. They were the only team besides Canada who was in that situation in the World Cup. All other teams, including the associates and obviously the full members, they've all played at least one T20 against a full member, including Italy playing Ireland in three T20s leading into the World Cup. So USA has kind of had a peculiar gap in their fixture list in terms of getting prepared for this World Cup compared to some of the other teams. In what way has that challenged you and the team as you start to build up to that first match against India in Mumbai?
I think from a player's perspective, I can talk about my personal and the teammates that I know about. We've tried to make the best use of whatever games that we've got. We've played a fair quantity of ODI cricket with the 4 or 5 series of World Cricket League 2, which has helped us stay together as a unit. The major change you would have seen is like, I think around 8, 9, or even more of us have gotten gigs across various franchise leagues. I got an opportunity at CPL. Guys went to Nepal. I also went to the ILT20. So these are also like month long training opportunities, and you get good quality games. So as far as the core group, individually, we've gotten enough exposure, I guess, to top quality T20 cricket. And obviously, there was a whole season of MLC. We've got a good 2, 3 months of quality T20 cricket individually. And as a team, we've at least played 50 over cricket as a unit, and we've been doing fairly well. Yeah, that's from what we can control as players. We try to do the best with the facilities we have. And I'm grateful that we've at least gotten a 1 month camp here and we've been building up nicely. Played 3 games now, 2 more games we are scheduled to play, and then leading up to two warm up games again in Mumbai with New Zealand and India. Those will be good games, I guess. And then leading up to the main. So I can't ask for better facilities. I guess we're building up good. So hopefully it all works out. Let's see how we go.
You talked about getting the opportunity in the CPL. You were with Trinbago Knight Riders, who won the CPL this year, and you took 3 wickets in the final. That wasn't your first experience with the CPL. Way back several years ago, you were included in the Guyana Amazon Warriors squad, but like a lot of USA players at that point in time, when there was a mandate for each team had to pick at least one associate player. That was a stipulation at that point in time from around 2015 up through 2020, right before MLC essentially.
2018-19, I guess that's when I played. Yeah.
That's when you were in the squad, but you didn't see much time on the field though, and the
No.
reputation of USA has changed dramatically. I think at that point in time, a lot of people took the view that those were token spots. Even Ali Khan, he also started off with a guy named Amazon Warriors, and he only played one match over the course of I think 2 or 3 seasons. There wasn't really any incentive to really play these guys. Whereas now, instead of it being kind of a token gesture, you're actively being recruited to join these squads with the intent that you're not just going to ride the bench, you're actually going to get into the 11 like you did, being part of a winning side and a major contributor to a winning side. So if you think back to the first experience you had with the CPL, going back 2017, 2018, compared to now, just the reputation and the opportunity to play the T20 World Cup and demonstrate that you could legitimately stand up against that caliber of competition when given the opportunity. In what ways has that influenced all the other opportunities you've been able to get in franchise cricket since then compared to before when it was really a struggle to break into a starting 11 in the franchise scene?
Yeah, I think things have changed drastically. If I look back at that version of me who was part of the America spot of the Guyana Warriors side, it was great for me to get re-exposed to the professional setup and get to train there. And now that I look back, I realize that I wasn't ready to actively contribute towards a winning cause at that time because we were also growing as cricketers, and I'd had a decent Super 50 though, when I made my debut for the USA. But I still think fitness wise, skill wise, there was still a long way to go. And that was definitely a big learning to just get a reality check of where the top athletes are at. And that spot helped us in general, like 6 or 8 of us. I think few of us got a game or two here and there, but then that helped us later into our Division 3, Division 2 tournaments where we had that exposure, we had the training time. I think the training is the big thing that you get facilities for a month and a half, you're training on turf wickets, and that's much better than playing weekend club games and training indoors in the US, which is still what most of us predominantly have to do, unless we have a camp or something in Dallas or North Carolina or Florida. So, yeah, any exposure to turf, it's just getting cricket pitches to a bowl on itself is a big luxury. And that was great for just getting exposure, and you have quality batters to bowl to. So that was only thing that I was looking forward to in that tournament. But here it's very different. Like MLC has made a big difference, and obviously the World Cup performances and are lately the performances of the national team. Because of MLC, the franchises, right? I think most of the franchises, the team owners have teams in other parts of the world. And once you're performing in MLC, there are all eyes on you, and you definitely then get looked at for other leagues when spots opened up. Like in the CPL, I wasn't in the original team. I was called as a replacement player to Muhammad Amir, who got injured midway. So a spot opened up and they thought of me. So that was good of the players, I guess, who recommended me, who would have played with me or against me in MLC, like Puran, Pollard. So it was great to see them back me, and they made me feel very welcomed. I think Dwayne Bravo, our coach, like he spoke very nicely with me. We planned nicely and he supported me throughout. So it didn't feel like I was an outsider or comparatively inexperienced in the franchise circuit. They made me feel like I was there to contribute for the team and they believed in my skills. So I think the culture helped, and MLC makes a big difference, I think, because it's been 2 years, I think 3 years to MLC. And if you see in MLC as well, from year one to year three, the percentage of local players who've been in the top 10 run getters or the top five wicket takers has slowly increased. So the local players have started to step up their game as well, and that is what is being recognized now, I think, in franchise leagues all over the world. And I hope to see this grow more because I definitely see we have a lot of promise in our setup.
You touched on something that I want to follow up on there in terms of how you're being treated or how you're being looked at now by other players. And I did a separate interview with you after the end of the first season of Major League Cricket, and one of the things that we talked about was how you were able to achieve success in the context of the American players and versus the overseas players when the overseas players were going to be really expected to do the bulk of the work. And one of the things you talked about was that as a bowler, when you had discussions with other USA players who were going to be bowlers in MLC in season one, you said that you all felt you were going to be targeted, that the
Yeah.
approach from the opposition batsman was that you guys were the weaklings. And if they were going to target a bowler, a fourth bowler, a fifth bowler to try and capitalize, and that was going to be where they were going to get their runs and have their big overs, they were going to have a bullseye on the USA guys. Knowing that that was your mentality going into the first season of MLC, you really took it as a challenge to make sure that you were prepared for batsmen to come at you and to attack you, whereas they might look at another bowler and try and see them off before they come get you. And that you obviously had that big performance, the 6 for 9, which was the top haul in the opening season of MLC. If you think back to then, that was the first season of MLC, and it was before the T20 World Cup in 2024 that obviously USA had such great success in. The level of respect that you have had in terms of teammates within your own change room in franchise cricket and the respect that you get from opposition players, where do you feel that has changed or progressed in terms of how people treated you as a teammate or as an opponent before the T20 World Cup in 2024 versus everything since?
Yeah, definitely. I think the exposure and obviously we executed well, not just myself. If you look at our top players, like see Andres Gauss, he's going and scoring runs everywhere. And top franchises are backing him to open the innings for them and play a crucial role. He just won the IL T20 as well. If you look at Harmeet, if you're looking at a Shubham, who got picked for the SA20, that's a big deal. That's a big break where the TSK gave him that crucial role at number four, and he delivered for them in the MLC. And now he's treated just at a top talent from across the world. There's no associate spot or anything there in SAT20. So he's just one of the best, and he's the overseas players that they're trusting him to do that job. So you're definitely seeing a difference there, where now that an MLC is also, I think, at par with any of the top leagues, and you see the top cricketers across the world. So if you're performing in MLC, you're definitely you belong there, and the cricketers start seeing you as one whom they can back. And when spots open up elsewhere, they will think of you like. So that change I've seen rather than hey, this is a local guy, we have to play him, he has to bowl. Now he might be targeted, so we try to give him a minimal role. So that's not the case. Now we are playing core roles in our respective teams, and that's heartening to see. Now you see Nosh, how he bowls in the power play in the MLC, and now he's in the ILT20 for 3 consecutive years. So you see that skills transferring to the world.
I was wondering if you were going to name drop Nash in there. You named so many other players in terms of guys who have gotten opportunities in the franchise. I was wondering, is Saurabh going to say Nash Kenjige or not? Because he's only about 10 feet away from you right now. He's your roommate on tour in Sri Lanka.
There he is.
Hello. Hello.
Hello,
You know,
Nash.
like it or not, I'm here.
Hello, Nash. Making a guest appearance. Nash Kenjige, everybody. Alabama's favorite cricketer.
Ooh, I'm not sure about that.
The pride of Auburn. Come on, Nash. Everybody loves you down there. But
All I
yeah,
can say is, he is one of the most down-to-earth kind of guys. He's not the one who will speak himself up. So if you need some answers that he's not going to give, I'm here for that. So ask me whatever you need on his behalf.
does he keep you awake at night playing his ukulele?
That is a great question. Great question. I think we'll keep the answers between both of us. It's not the ukulele, it's something else.
It's the snoring.
Don't
Oh
tell that,
no.
man. Don't tell that.
Do we need to get a CPAP mask for Saurabh?
Well, we have tried. No, right now we have a good understanding. So I just make sure I keep a bat next to the bed. So whenever he snores, I give him a smack and then he turns around the other side.
Thank you, Nash. Thank you, Nash, for your guest appearance. Very insightful from Nash Kenjige. So before we continue further with Saurabh Netravalkar, I want to remind everybody that today's episode of the Stars and Stripes Cricket Podcast is brought to you by Sportsnection, the home of the first ever U.S. cricket trading card set, the Stars and Stumps series. Head to sportsnection.com to get your hands on limited edition items, including autographed cricket trading cards from up-and-coming USA men's stars, such as Sai Mukamala, Sanjay Krishnamurti, and the aforementioned Shubham Ranjane, who's been lighting it up not just for USA, but with the Texas Super Kings in MLC and now most recently in the SAT20. Sportsnection is not only American owned, but their cards are printed in the US of A. Once again, that's Sportsnection, uniting athletes and fans through trading cards. Now, Saurabh, your journey to get to the USA, I know some people are familiar with, but some people might not be. You played for India under 19 in the under 19 World Cup in 2010. And I think I've asked you about this before, but you played USA in a warm-up game, not in the official tournament itself, but I believe both you and Harmeet Singh and Smit Patel, and there might have been a few others who are now in the USA setup. You were all part of a squad that played against USA, and I believe it was Lincoln in a warm-up match. And I'm
New Zealand,
curious,
yeah.
what do you remember about that match as your first exposure to American cricket? Were you even aware that there was a U.S. national team before that day began?
I wasn't actually. That day, I frankly remember. that we were rotating bowlers. So I think I bowled 3, 4 overs. All of our bowlers were bowling 3, 3, 4, 4 overs, and we were just trying to get into rhythm. I do vaguely remember Steven Taylor opening the batting. Couple of boundaries he hit. I think I'm not sure, but I vaguely remember Steven, and I know a guy from Bay Area, Shiva. He was there. I think.
Shiva
Uh,
Vashisht.
he was there in that team. That I came to know later, like after I went to the Bay Area, because I played with him in club cricket. Yeah, that's pretty much 2, 3 things I remember. And I remember KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal had got the runs and we had chased 100 easily. It wasn't about the win loss, we were just trying to get into rhythm.
India batted first. I remember being there. KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal put on a 152 run partnership together, and both of them
Oh, we had
retired.
batted first? Okay, I don't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, they batted first. 152 run partnership across 21 overs before Mayank Agarwal retired on 104. And if neither one of them retired, I think they might have batted the whole 50 overs and finished like 360 for none. Neither one of them ever looked like they were ever going to get out against the USA bowlers. And then once they retired, slightly easier to get some wickets out for the US guys. And then for you, you bowled a total of 5 overs, none for 13. But yeah, Stephen Taylor
4 or 5 overs. Yeah, something
was
like that. Yeah.
part of that team. Nasir Jamali, who became a USA national
Oh,
team
okay.
selector, he was
Okay.
in that team.
Interesting.
I ask you about that also in the context of when you eventually decided to come to the US. So you played the World Cup and you got 3 matches in first class cricket, and then you decided to pursue an opportunity for graduate school at Cornell University in upstate New York. First, when you decided to come, did you have any other offers? Was Cornell the only choice, or were you weighing up other things in terms of deciding where and when you were potentially going to commit yourself to leaving cricket behind in India and pursuing your
I'd
graduate
applied to
work?
three colleges. I had gotten 2 rejections. This was the only offer I had. Yeah.
So you were not in demand like you are now.
No.
It's a humbling
But I had
experience.
applied past the deadline of most universities. So most universities had their deadline around December 15th. My decision was a little abrupt. I had gotten dropped from the Mumbai side halfway through the season or something like that. And then I sort of realized that maybe I'm just not good enough and I'm not going to make it big in cricket here. So then after that, I had applied. So there were 3 good colleges. And if I wanted to apply to colleges, I wanted it to be good colleges. So I had applied only to 3, whose deadlines were Feb 1st. And I had gotten 2 rejections first. And then I had started making my resume and started applying for jobs in India. But then the acceptance letter came and it was nice. It was like a great feeling. I can get to start my life from scratch again in a new country. So that was the plan.
You got the notification somebody loves you, and that somebody was Cornell. They wanted you.
Yes,
You were not spoiled for choice. It was Cornell or nothing, is what it sounds like.
yes, yes.
And I'm assuming you went to Cornell and accepted it sight unseen. You did not.
Unseen, unseen.
And when did you arrive at Cornell?
August first week. So I was lucky enough that my mom's younger brother lives in DC, Fairfax, Virginia. So I landed at his place and he was visiting Mumbai at that time. So I flew back with his family. I stayed a few days in DC with them. So that's when I just got used to the new country. Everything was new for me. And they sort of eased me into it. They showed me a Walmart or grocery stores. They helped me set up my room. They drove me to Cornell. So we did a 8 hour drive to Cornell from DC. So it was a beautiful drive as well. I remember seeing the clock tower. So there is an iconic clock tower of Cornell. So when you drive, it just appears in the distance, and like it was a surreal feeling. It was like entering Hogwarts of Harry Potter. It's beautiful. Cornell is very beautiful. Like Ithaca, upstate New York. It's a student town. Very beautiful with gorges and lakes and greenery and hills. It's very beautiful.
Yeah, for those who have never had the opportunity to go to Ithaca, New York, it's Ithaca, New York, not Ithaca in ancient Greece, like the time of Odysseus and all the Greek warriors in Ithaca in that part of the world, but Ithaca in upstate New York. And it's a gorgeous part of the country, especially in the fall, late summer, early fall, when you were getting started up
Beautiful.
there. I don't know if you feel the same way. It's right on the Finger Lakes. So it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, but if you like solitude and you like the scenery and the beauty of kind of upstate New York, which is very, very different from New York City, you get plenty of that. Plenty of cows on the drive, I'm assuming too, Saurabh. It's really country farmland. Once you get out of New York City, upstate New York is very rural,
Proper
very
country, yeah.
yeah, very, very country. Did that surprise you at all?
I mean, everything was just new. The first thing I observed was like nobody was honking, and it was, and yeah, it was a completely different aura. I felt a different aura. It was the first time I'm visiting, and I had to learn everything from scratch. So the moment when my uncle dropped me, he stayed over a night. He helped me go to Walmart and he brought all the basic stuff. I didn't even know what to get. So he helped me with the shower curtains and the kitchen stuff, essentials, the bed and everything. And then the next day they left. The day they left, when the car left, I was literally like alone in a new country and I actually didn't know what to do because I was the first to arrive off three flatmates, and my flatmates then arrived, I think, a couple of days later. So yeah, it was just new. It was like it felt like I'm starting from scratch again. Then I started exploring, walking around, and I met people and made friends slowly. Yeah.
Now, when you say alone, we really mean alone because again, it's about 4 hours from New York City and about 4 hours from Niagara Falls and the Canadian border. So you're really right smack in the middle of the state. And again, there's not much around there. It's not a place where you can really do much without a car. That's another kind of unique thing about that kind of territory in terms of like just being able to walk around and get stuff. It's not exactly a straightforward thing in middle of nowhere. It's rural, upstate New York. You really had to kind of get out of your comfort zone a little bit, is what it sounds like in terms of trying to get
Oh
out and
yeah, I
meet
used to
people.
walk. I remember walk everywhere. Walmart was a 25-minute walk. We used to walk and go, and Uber used to not be there. There used to be a calling service. I remember used to call and a taxi. All the operator would ask where you're at, where you want to go, and then they'll try to send you a cab. And then on the way back from groceries, we used to take a cab. I remember walking 30 minutes, 45 minutes to college. So they used to be good public transport, but the bus it used to be every half an hour. I used to live slightly off campus, like halfway down the hill. The college is like up the hill, and if you miss that bus, if you wait for half an hour, you're going to miss your class. So you need to walk. You need to make the walk. So yeah, it used to be nice,
You've
nice days.
you've got gray hair on your beard, Sora. But you're dating yourself here, talking about a prehistoric era of civilization where there was no Uber.
Yeah, there was no Uber at that area, at least.
This is back in, so this would have been 2013, 2014, around that time.
2015. This is 2015.
2015. Okay. You're at Cornell and now bringing it back to the USA India match. When you first came to study at Cornell, did you bring any cricket kit with you? Or did you even have a concept of thinking, oh, I can pursue cricket as a club or a hobby thing while I'm in the US?
No, it didn't even occur to me actually. I had completely given up. Like I was just like, okay, I'm gonna now study, get a job. Yeah, I just came with a blank slate actually. Completely blank slate. No clue. But the first exposure to cricket was, I think, in the orientation at college itself. I saw a few PhD students there who had a banner called Cornell Cricket Club, and I was like intrigued. like up north. They're playing cricket there, and there were a few guys, and they had formed a Cornell cricket team, and there used to be this organization called American College Cricket, and they used to play inter-college games. He had a Ivy League tournament and all that. So that's how I got introduced to that. But it was social cricket mostly. Like we used to hardly train. We used to just play like those 2, 3 tournaments. And yeah, the focus was mainly classes only. I wasn't training or anything.
Did any of those PhD guys that you first met at Cornell through the cricket club, did any of them WhatsApp you or message you after your World Cup success against India and Pakistan?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. Instant. They're good friends now. Yeah,
So they haven't forgotten you, and you haven't forgotten them. More importantly, you haven't
of
gotten
course, of
too
course.
big, Saurabh. You haven't big timed them.
The friend circle I built at Cornell was very special because they were my friends without knowing the cricket side of me at all. Like I wasn't a cricketer there. And I'm still that same version for those friends. Those are friends for life now. And I met Snigdha there as well. So like I'm grateful for that.
So Cornell has a very special place in your heart for a variety of reasons.
Yep.
Do you ever get a chance to go back and visit? Have you visited since you graduated?
We haven't. We want to. It's just we want to see with the baby now how we plan that trip, but we do want to definitely. As a friends group also we decided, but our friends group also has a lot of babies now, so we need to coordinate and how we do that, but it is on a bucket list. We want to go there again, yeah.
Did any of your Cornell friends, did they stick around New York after they graduated? Or did you all scatter around the country in terms of, I mean, did any of those guys come to see you play in New York against India during the World Cup?
A few did, yes. So most of our friends, we have a few in New York, a few in the Bay Area, a few in Seattle. So yeah, they're all scattered a little bit, but yeah, there's quite a few friends in the Bay Area itself who follow cricket. And yeah, few came to MLC games as well in SF Dallas. And the India game, a couple had come. They flew from the Bay Area, yes.
So, when did you start to take cricket seriously again? You said it was mostly social cricket, just kind of having fun, and there wasn't really any serious training going on. At what stage did you start to really think, oh, maybe I can reapply myself again and give it another shot while still trying to balance it with your work life career?
So that would be when I moved to the Bay Area, when I got a job, I discovered NCCA and these club cricket leagues, which happen weekend to weekend. And I joined a club through one of my coaches in India, knew Rahul Khona, who used to play for Marine Cricket Club. I consider him as a senior figure who's been like a family member for me in the Bay Area, who's taken care of me in general as well. Um, so yeah, I started playing for Marine Cricket Club, and there I met Timil, Ravi, Nisarg, these 3, 4 guys who used to then be part of the USA national team and were also playing for Marine. And then they sort of reintroduced me to the cricketing circle there from Northern California. Then they took me to play for their club, Vijayta in LA. So I started making the drive to LA on weekends. So Saturday we used to play in LA, and on a Sunday we used to play in the Bay Area. So that's how it started. Then gradually got introduced to these open tournaments. That time mostly there used to be US Open, 2, 3 more tournaments, Diversity Cup, this, that. When I started playing those gave me entry points into West Indian players used to come. So good quality again in those open tournaments. So then I thought it's still weekend to weekend, long weekends. I don't have to compromise on my job. I can just play on weekends. And when that happened, I stumbled upon meeting Coach Pubudu around 2017, I think, when the USA team had a camp in LA. When they were preparing for Division 3, I think 3 or 4, 3, something like that. That's when I played in a training game for the LA side. They played a USA national team versus LA or something like that.
So this was right before they went to Uganda. This would have been like April, May 2017.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And then in that game, I did well against USA, and Pubudu sir saw me, but I wasn't eligible. Obviously, I think the eligibility criteria was much stricter that time. It was 7 years residency or something like that.
So seven
And
years, there were two separate categories for non-citizens. It was you had to be a 7 year resident, and you could pick an unlimited number of 7 year residents in your squad, and obviously an unlimited number of citizens or passport holders. And then they had a separate category, which was called deemed national. And it was if you had been in the country for 4 years, but not yet 7 years. And you could only pick a maximum of two of those players in any
yeah,
starting
something like
11.
that.
Yeah.
So for me, it was still a long shot. So I didn't think of it as such in that way, but I just thought I can play these tournaments and just have fun. So I started training. I started retraining because I had put on a lot of weight and I wasn't fit at all. Like I was literally eating very unhealthy food in college. But then slowly, I started training again, hitting the gym, good facility. I have a world-class gym in the office itself. So that's how that journey started. At least it sparked a motivation that at least I can play for fun and it will be good quality cricket in the weekend leagues and these tournaments. I used to look forward to the long weekend tournaments. And then they started exponentially growing. And luckily, when 3 years happened for me, the criteria was miraculously relaxed to three, and I just got eligible. And I think Ali and Jesse were injured or something like that, and coach decided to take me to the Super 50. And that was my first tournament for the US. That's what I remember. Me and Elmore had bowled the new ball, and yeah, that's how it started. And then you know everything after that. So
Well, that was the first tournament because the that eligibility rule changed from the two you could have two players between 4 and 7 years to then that was how it was in 2017, and then towards the tail end of 2017, October, November 2017, they changed it to lower it to 3 years. There was a legal case precedent that was set where some players from the Philippines challenged the legal statute that the ICC had abided by for many years, and it was the Philippines that USA really owes a debt of gratitude for in terms of getting that eligibility guideline changed so that it lowered the threshold from 4 years to 3 years and there was no limit. And so it wasn't just you, it was Xavier Marshall, Jasker Malhotra,
yeah.
and I believe Sonny Sohal. The four of you all debuted in the same Super 50 tournament down in the West Indies, and then you've never looked back. Now, you mentioned Oracle. I've got a few questions about them. First off, they were the ones who offered you a job coming out of graduate school in Cornell.
And they were also the only ones, by the way. I didn't have any other offer.
Again, and not spoiled for choice, not in demand. It was Cornell or nothing, Oracle or nothing, Oracle or bust. So,
I interviewed a lot, got a lot of rejections. They were the only offer I had.
considering that, was there a point where you were weighing up, do I go back to India and pursue a work career there after graduation, or was the plan to always stay in the US and try and get a job after graduation?
I was pretty open-minded actually, but the opportunity was pretty good on Oracle, and I had met Snigdha. We both got a job at Oracle. So yeah, we decided to sort of start there, and we see how we go. Yeah.
So American cricket owes a debt of gratitude to Snigdha, your wife, because you met her at Cornell and she got a job with you at Oracle. So she was part of the reason why you've built a life, not just built a life with Snigdha, but built a life in American cricket.
I guess so. You could say that.
You got the job with Oracle, and you said they have a world-class fitness facility in your eyes. There's a lot of incentives to working in Silicon Valley and some of these campuses, whether it's Google or Facebook or Meta now, Oracle, a lot of these companies, Apple, they have big, huge campus facilities with thousands of employees that work there. And as part of that, they want to have things accessible to their employees to keep them happy and keep them engaged and wanting to stay with the company for a long time. You mentioned the fitness facility. What else has Oracle done in terms of giving you that work-life balance that enabled you, especially in the early stages before ODI status was achieved in 2019, and also you can extend that further, and before USA qualified for the T20 World Cup in 2024, or was given a spot through being co-host. What are the things that Oracle has provided, whether it's flexibility in terms of your work schedule and managing a workload when you go away on tour, or the gym facility on site, or anything else that Oracle has done to enable you to keep pursuing cricket while still being able to earn a full-time income with your day job at Oracle?
So very early days, I guess till 2019-ish, we were still playing division tournaments. It's one in a year, and we hardly had like a couple of camps. So it's not that much cricket that you have to play. And most of the local cricket is on weekends and long weekends. So I didn't have to, frankly, sacrifice a lot of work time. So those first few years, I think I did quite a few impactful work. And by the way, I love what I do at Oracle. The work is really good,
And
and I get
just
to
to
learn a
clarify
lot.
for everybody, your role is senior programmer,
I'm a senior software engineer. Yeah, that's
senior
correct.
software
Yeah,
engineer. Okay.
it's
And you've been with them now for
10
nine,
years almost.
10 years.
Actually, 2016. So it'll be 10 this year. Like this July, it'll be 10. Yeah.
Do they give employees who reach the 10 years of service a special plaque or any sort of memento to
Yeah,
it?
they do 5, 10. Yeah, we got that.
So you've gotten already some mementos already.
Yeah, yeah. So they've been obviously one of the top companies to work for in terms of work and the quality of work itself. And that was the primary focus after graduating. Like cricket was still on a backseat. Like it wasn't like I got the job in 2016. I least expected to play cricket. When I got into the team, they obviously knew. So here and there, I used to take a Friday off or Monday off. So it started that way, not too much, but it really ramped up, I think, post COVID. I would say when minor league, major league started and national team had the WCL cycle where we got the ODI status. After that is when we got those 36 games and we used to have a lot of series. That's when then, since I'd already worked for 4 years, 3, 4 years in the company, and I had built a good rapport as well. So there was a good understanding between my colleagues, my manager, that I used to take it on a case by case basis. When's the next tournament? So accordingly, I'll plan my work, I'll get my stuff done. So it's working around the timelines as per getting the job done in both places. I think that's what I try to do. The good thing is now at least I can work from anywhere when I'm especially in the US. Being a programmer, you don't actually have to be in person in office all the time. I can code from wherever I want, and I can get my stuff done. So as long as I'm getting my stuff done, I find time for meeting with my colleagues and yeah, just being on top of my work, and that's what I do. And especially after the World Cup, also I've received a lot of love and support from higher ups in the company as well, where achievements were recognized. And in that sense, also, it feels nice that the company is also, I think, appreciating that aspect of it. From a facilities perspective, to all employees, we have a world-class gym. There's a running track. There is a swimming pool. There's everything there, and there's fitness classes all throughout the week. So we started with that, and then slowly, obviously, now we have a specific training program which I follow from the national team trainer. It used to be Bert first, and then Asia, and now Matt. So we have the app called Team Builder on which he inputs the fitness program, and we just go and follow it. So I have the equipment at work, so I can just do it after work or midway during lunch. I think that's how I work around uh, trying to get both things done. Yeah.
What is the biggest bit of recognition or biggest bit of appreciation you got from Oracle staff on your very first day back in the office after the World Cup?
Yeah, I remember giving a USA cap and a a jersey to my manager, and she's kept it on her desk as well. So she's a new fan of USA cricket, like you could say, of our national team.
You did something for her, but what did they do for you? You're the one who's the most famous employee at Oracle in June and
Oh,
July
they
of
called, so they involved me in all Oracle Cloud World, which was in Vegas, and they had a special interview with me on Oracle TV. A lot of higher ups recognized me and everything, so it was pretty good. Yeah.
this event in Vegas. How many thousands of employees are there would show up to this thing in Vegas?
Oh, a lot of employees. It's like a kind of a showcase of all products and features of the company, and there'll be a lot of customers. Like it's like a big fest, you would say. There are PowerPoint presentations, there are shows. It's a huge event.
And this is
Mm,
for Oracle
across
staff
the board.
and non-Oracle staff.
And customers, yeah, customers. It's basically to showcase our capabilities at every release, the new features, the new products that we launch. So those happen there, and then there are interviews, and so they had a special slot, an interview to recognize me on Oracle TV.
Now, part of this obviously was recognizing what you did for USA during the World Cup, but did they ask you or interview you about what you were working on for Oracle?
Yeah, both. Yes, yes,
Well,
both.
what were you working on? What's the biggest thing that you've been spending your time and energy on for Oracle that has gotten some attention within the company?
So latest projects we're working on is also pretty cool. It's called a vector search. So I work in search technologies, which is essentially keyword-based search. Anything that you type on a search engine, you try to retrieve the top matching documents, right? That's mostly used. It's traditionally used to be based on the keywords that you typed in, but now with AI you can sort of capture the meaning of what you've typed and sort of get similar in meaning documents. That is called semantic search or meaning based search. And that is the output of that is then used by your chatbots and all those things. So it's more so towards AI search now than the traditional search. So we are doing a hybrid of both. So that's the project that we're working on, which was also showcased in the event. So both my work part and the cricket part was covered there.
When you meet with people now in the Bay Area, and they know that you're a cricket person, but they know that you've got this tech part of your life that's also very crucial and key to your life. Do more people ask you for advice about cricket, or do more people ask you for advice about technology and computers?
It's upon I've seen both. I've seen quite a few parents actually of young emerging kids. Like you see so many. Like if you see the guys in our team, like Sai and Sanjay, like they both are also computer science engineers or are in undergrad pursuing those courses. So there are a lot of upcoming kids who are very well educated or are good at academics who also want to pursue a career in cricket. So I get questions you usually from parents as to how my journey was, and I try to share that. I give their example, Sai Sanjay's example of how they're doing really well by managing their courses online and stuff. I see them are doing their homework as well. So there are more examples than me right now, but I try to share my experience. The other thing I get is from IT professionals as to how do I get into cricket or how do I if they've been inspired. So you connect them to the club, the closest club, the facility, the training facility, and yeah, I try to hook up people into the right places to get them access to the resources to the best that I can. Yeah, these two aspects I've seen. Yeah.
Has Sai or Sanjay ever asked you for homework help?
No, they're pretty good. They're very smart. They don't need help from me.
They are not going to be two people who are going to struggle to get into graduate programs like you did. They're going to get accepted into more than one school. Is that what you're saying if they want to go to graduate school?
I think so. They're pretty smart. Yeah, both of them.
Take us through a typical day in the life of Saurabh Netravalkar, from rise and shine at dawn until you go to sleep. What do you do in terms of devoting your time, and how do you divide your time over the course of the day when it comes to work at Oracle, cricket training or cricket responsibilities, as well as family responsibilities with your wife and a young daughter?
So a typical day at home would usually begin at 5 or 5:30 a.m. And I usually have a yoga practice routine, which I'll do for an hour and a half or so in the morning. And then I'll usually make the breakfast, like which is usually fruits, nuts, and oats. Yeah, then we have breakfast together, and then Snigdha will make the lunch, and then we spend some time. And now we send Aldhimai to daycare as well on a typical work day. So one of us will drop her to daycare. We both go to work. During work, if also it's an alternate day routine for me. So there's gym thrice a week. There's running twice a week. So with running is usually Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So Tuesday, Thursday, I try to go indoors to actually bowl and bat. So during lunch, I'd usually make the drive to an indoor, which is around 40-45 minutes away. I'll bowl for an hour or so, and then I'll come back and I'll work the remaining time. So now I work from home. I earlier used to go to office. If it's a gym day, I'll go to office, and after work in the evening, I'll do gym. And then around 5:30, we'll pick up our daughter. Then I'll usually take her to the park. Her and Momo, our dog. So we'll take them to the park. She'll play in the park. We'll have a nice dinner together. We'll spend some time play, and then we'll sleep. Yeah, that's pretty much the weekday routine.
You make it sound pretty easy. Is it really that easy, or is it a bit harder than that in terms of balancing everything
I
out?
mean, there are days when it's tough, when there's a lot of work, or when cricket, I mean, my body is tired with the training, or if it's not very easy with her, if she's getting like, there are things where she's teething or she's sick or something like that, then obviously you have to work around stuff. But yeah, a typical good day would look like that.
And then what's a day in the life when you're on tour and you're still bringing your laptop, doing work stuff on tour in between practice matches like you're doing in Sri Lanka or training sessions from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep because especially because of the time zone differences and how you're able to communicate with your family because it might be a 12, 13-hour time zone difference. So when you're waking up, they might be getting ready to go to sleep or we're starting to wind down for the day. Take us through a day in the life when you're on tour and how those things have to be adapted.
On tour, obviously, first thing is that she has to do a lot of heavy lifting at home because solo parenting is very tough. It's not easy at all. She needs to take a lot of extra effort, and I've been very grateful for her to having stepped up and offered to do that so that I can live my dream here. So, firstly, acknowledging that. Secondly, on tour for me, there's no set pattern like you said, like based on where we are at, we decide when we can have a conversation or when we can chat, based on Dhimai's schedule as well. So that time gets fixed, and obviously try to find a best time to sync up with work colleagues. It depends where I'm at. Not all tours I'm working. Like obviously in the World Cup I won't be working, so I'll be on vacation. So then I don't have to think about work. But I'm on top of my emails or Slack. We have Slack. So if there is a very urgent issue or something like that, they'll let me know. But apart from that, it's pretty much I'm independent around practices. Again, It's very variable. If you're playing a game or if you have a short session or a long session, morning session, afternoon session, schedules are really unpredictable in cricket camps. So, and your body, you don't know how tired you're going to be, how much energy you'll be having. So you just take it day by day, actually. So on a typical day, you will be training 3 to 4 hours, maybe half an hour of gym. So, and then based on your body, if I need to work, if I'm at a place where I can work, then I put in a few hours, and like how critical it is, like what is the timeline of my deliverables at that time. So I try to sort of get a hold of a majority of my work before I leave for tour. And that is through a good rapport with my manager where we try to work it out and assume, because I let her know that there is an important tournament upcoming next month. So it's important for me to give her a good heads up. So accordingly, we plan my work and my tasks, and I try to do the heavy lifting before I leave for tour. And then if there are any issues, I'll fix it. So something like that. Yeah, it's no fixed pattern there, but you need to work day by day to take it day by day.
So during the World Cup in 2024, am I understanding you were not actually working every single day? You had taken some annual leave and you were not.
Yeah, I wasn't working at the World Cup. I was, yeah, off. But I had initially taken off only till the last league game, and then I had to extend that because we had qualified. Yeah, that
Did
was a funny thing which became popular on social media.
did you have to twist your manager's arm? Did you have to really
No, it
complete?
became pretty popular, so she knew about it. So, and they were all proud of our efforts, so they were very supportive. Yeah.
So now, heading into this next World Cup, having come off that victory over Pakistan and going to the Super 8s and all the things you've talked about in franchise cricket, especially recently, you come off of a CPL championship with Trinbago Knight Riders. Andre Strauss, as you said, with Desert Vipers, scored a century in the semifinal. He's in excellent form, and there's a lot of other guys who are doing really good stuff. Sanjay Krishnamurti has been phenomenal on the franchise scene for the last 2 years, and Sai Mukamala is in excellent form for USA. He got some opportunities with Texas Super Kings. Nash Kenjige has been a consistent performer both for USA and in franchise cricket for the MI setups around the world, including MI New York. You have a different level of expectations now. You're not going to sneak up on anybody, Saurabh. Nobody's going to consider USA a heavy underdog like they did in 2024. You prove that you can beat Pakistan. You're still going to be underdogs, but I don't think it's going to be a shock in the same way that the victory over Pakistan was one of the biggest upsets all time in cricket. So, in terms of changing your personal expectations, team expectations, and knowing that teams are treating you differently, they're not going to be surprised by you coming up in this tournament. How has that altered your approach leading into this year's T20 World Cup versus how you approached the preparation building up to 2024?
I think preparation wise, there are a few things to consider. Obviously, the conditions will be very different because USA, New York especially, the conditions were very suited to fast bowling. Dallas was also a sporting pitch where you could still swing the ball if you bowled good areas. There was something in it for the bowlers. Here, we might expect it to be a lot more batter friendly. So in that sense, it will be personally as a bowler much more of a challenge and less room for error. And top attacking batters get opportunity on a flat track, so they will also be looking to come aggressive. So in that sense, we are trying to prepare that plan A, plan B. So it's important to be a little thick-skinned, I think, in T20, where some of the good balls might also get hit for 4 or 6. But it's about minimizing that damage. For example, you going for a 10-run over would be still better than spoiling that over and making it a 20-run over, because that could be a win or loss, a difference, those 5, 10 runs. So it's about being more smarter than trying to ace everything. I think the approach in terms of how we approach the game as a bowler will change, where each ball is an impact rather than each over. So each ball you get to come back and try to save the day for your team. That's individual prep wise, and the other thing is, obviously, like you said, we won't be unknown figures now. So they also will do homework on our patterns of how we bowl, the skills we execute. So it will be important to mentally also study their batters, their patterns, what new tricks can we actually introduce in the World Cup? Can we do something different? So yeah, we've been having those discussions on a tactical point of view as well with our video analyst and coach and captain. And yeah, we'll try to do the best with the skills that we have, but ultimately on the field it is what it is. You just have to go and execute. And if it's our day, it's our day. If it's not, it's not. You just accept it, and we give our best. Yeah, we'll see how we go.
As a Mumbai hometown boy, what is it going to mean to you to be able to play in the opening night of the World Cup and take on India and do it at Wankhede Stadium, a place where you grew up?
Yeah, that would be definitely a different kind of nostalgia. 2024 was very special for me. This moment would be a different kind of special, kind of a full circle moment, I would say, because as an under 15 kid training at Bankhede, I've bowled in the nets to a lot of the greats of the game at Mumbai. Dreamt of playing for India at that ground, which couldn't happen. I wasn't good enough. And then to get that opportunity, 10 years of leaving the country or 11 years of leaving the country, it's a surreal moment where I wouldn't have even expected to play the sport, let alone at an international level. And my local friends, apartment community friends, my family, extended family will be there to watch the game. So in that sense, yeah, it's very special and nostalgic. But in terms of during execution of my plans or in the game, I won't think about all that. It's just uncontrollable. I'm just going to go and execute my skills and accept the result. Whatever the result is, I can only give my 100% for the team. And that's what it is. Just trying to prep, leave no stone unturned. For this whole month we've been working hard. Now we'll put our best foot forward, and we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Well, keep your eyes peeled for Saurabh and the rest of the USA squad. Again, they're going to be playing on opening night in the T20 World Cup, February 7th against India. Then they go off to Colombo to play Pakistan, and then they come back to India for their final two group matches against the Netherlands and Namibia. That will be in Chennai
Netherlands and Namibia.
to round out the group stage. All right, so I have time for favorite 11 and a reminder to everybody that the Stars and Stripes Cricket Podcast is presented by Sportsnection. Favorite 11 time. Your favorite roommate on any cricket tour, Saurabh, and no pressure. You've got somebody who might be hearing this question a few
No,
feet
but it
away.
is Nosh. It is Nosh. It is Nosh. Like his initially, he's been my inspiration for taking the fitness journey, and now we are both inspiring each other in a philosophical way, in a spiritual way, in a lifestyle way, where we motivate each other or we brainstorm with each other on how to get better. Yeah. So Nosh, I would say yes.
Your favorite pre-match meal.
Fruits and nuts, local seasonal fruits and a mix of nuts.
Just keeping it simple.
Yeah, nuts and seeds.
Your favorite city or country that you have toured, whether that's for franchise cricket or for international cricket.
Toured Scotland, I would say. I loved Scotland. But in general, I'd say Japan. I loved Japan. But I went there for a vacation, so that's different. Okay.
But with USA, you went to Aberdeen, I believe it was. Your favorite cricket ground experience that you've had as a player or as a fan. And when I say cricket ground experience, that includes the quality of the pitches, just the scenery, the landscape, the setting of the cricket ground, the lunches and the teas that get served to the players, and how well they take care of the players in that regard. Any other player amenities? What is your favorite cricket ground experience, taking all those things into consideration?
everything into consideration, I'd say Dallas.
Dallas more than any ground in India or in the West Indies or anywhere else in the world?
Because I'm still weighing more of the playing experience, because that matters to me more than all these other things. So
And you've had
Dallas,
some
I guess.
and you've had some special memories in Dallas,
Yeah.
beating Pakistan to the top of the list. Your favorite cricketer of all time
And MLC also. We won the MLC there in the second year.
with the Washington Freedom. It's another good reason.
Yeah.
Your favorite cricketer of all time.
Of all time, it's very tough to name one. I'd say a hybrid of Glenn McGrath, Wasim Akram, Zahir Khan. In terms of just purely skill, who I look up to. Yeah.
All right, if you had to pick one of the three, Wasim Akram, Zahir Khan, or Glenn McGraw, which one?
I'd say Glenn McGrath for his accuracy, sheer accuracy, which I try to have as my strength as well. I try to do that, be consistent in one area, try to bowl good lengths.
You just turned your back on your fellow left armers.
So that's why I said a hybrid, like because so I have specific reasons for the three of them. For Glenn McGrath, it's the accuracy. Wasim Akram is the sheer way he swings the ball, and Tahir Khan has been my idol since I grew up. I tried to copy his bowling action, and I've played with him. I've seen him live, and I've seen the mastery of skills that he has. So these three. And Rahul Dravid for the way he conducts himself in general off the field. He's a true gentleman. He's a team man. So yeah, these three, four. Yeah.
That's where your roommate learned all of his behavioral modeling from. And another Bangalore boy, Rahul Dravid, Nash
Yes.
Kenjige. Your favorite thing about living in upstate New York?
Or just the nature, like beautiful, beautiful. Like it's bliss. Usually you have to go there to experience it.
Your favorite thing about living in Northern California?
Northern California, it's just again, you have access to nature, you have access to the downtown, the city, so many cuisines of food, the cultural diversity in the Silicon Valley, and you're not too far from a beach, and you're not too far from a forest at Yosemite. You're not too far from skiing at Tahoe. Everything is like a drive away. So LA is not too far, so it's like it's pretty. It's like beautiful.
Your favorite pizza topping?
I don't have pizzas much now because I'm vegan, so
I was afraid you were going to say
yeah,
that.
and it's unhealthy as well. So,
Back in your unhealthy days when you were a student in New York,
but
what was
I
your
would
favorite pizza
say
topping?
mushroom pineapple.
Those are still fairly healthy, all things considered, in the context of
Yeah,
pizza.
mushroom pineapple. I'm one of the few who likes pineapple on their pizzas. Yeah.
Favorite movie?
I would say it's been changing from while to while, right? But all time, I would say Sherlock Holmes. Any of the Sherlock Holmes movies. I love Sherlock Holmes.
And your favorite show to binge watch, whether it's on Netflix, Paramount Plus, Amazon Prime, Apple TV. If you have time, if you can find time, whether it's on tour, I can't imagine you find much time at home when you've got all those things that are part of your life. But if you do get
Frankly,
some spare
lately I
time,
have not been watching too much of shows. I mostly listen to podcasts now. But in the days when I used to watch shows, yeah, Friends only, I think. Friends. So anytime you can watch it. Yeah.
well, there you go. Saurabh Netravalkar, favorite 11. Saurabh, thank you so much for coming on the Stars and Stripes Cricket Podcast presented by Sportsnection. Anything else you want to say to anybody watching or listening out there about your life, your career, or what you hope to achieve coming up in the 2026 Men's T20 World Cup?
Just thanks for having me. And just like to urge all cricket supporters in USA to back us and cheer for us. And we'll give our best and put our best foot forward and try to represent you to the best of our abilities.
Well, you certainly did that in 2024 at the World Cup and gained a whole legion of new fans. And hopefully, there will be many, many more new fans made who follow USA's fortunes coming up in the month of February in India and Sri Lanka. Saurabh Netravalkar, one of the great heroes of American cricket, not just in the T20 World Cup, but USA's all-time leading wicket-taker, and made so many other contributions to American cricket, both in and out of the national team. Thank you so much for all that you've done, and thank you for coming on the Stars and Stripes Cricket Podcast.
Yeah, thanks, Peter.